about this. I'm looking at the news. I know that law in California is hurting a lot of contract drivers. You know, it's hurting a lot of drivers who don't have a MC or DOT, and they're not running off their own plates and insurance. They're running off of a company's DOT and MC. I know that hurts a lot of I don't want to say they're owner operators. They're just contractors. They're drivers who own their own equipment, or they bought some equipment, got equipment finance, and they're instead of them going to get their own DOT, they're contracting their truck out, which is fine. I understand where they're coming from. That's the way they feed their family. That's their way to get into the game, you know. But is that really hurting the industry? Having that law, is it hurting owner operators, meaning people who own their equipment, who's running off of their DOT and MC, who has their own license plates, and they're paying for their own insurance? Is it really hurting the industry at that point? And you know, I know we're out here boycotting and shutting down and doing all that stuff, but are we boycotting the right stuff? Because, you know, me as an owner operator, what's hurting me, my operation from working day to day, is fuel. Or no, that's not even number one. I'm gonna go for number one. Number one is insurance. That's something that's hurting. Dang, this thing is really shaking on this road. I'm sorry. Insurance is one, because even if I have my truck parked, I have to pay insurance no matter what. There's no discount. There's no, okay, I only drove my truck 1 week. This other 3 weeks, I'm not driving my truck, so I don't need the high-end insurance type deal. No matter what, I'm paying the same amount for that insurance. So insurance, fuel, and basically sharing profits with the brokers. So, yeah, insurance could be a little better. There should be more structure there, because it's really hurting the industry a little bit. Maybe because I'm a fresh new owner operator. I've only been having my authority for a year or so. So hopefully every year it gets a little bit better, especially if I'm not making any insurance claims. Fuel costs, yeah, it's high, but I can control that in a certain way of how far I drive my truck, how many miles I rack up, and the rate per mile for, I guess, a shorter distance instead of going, OTR. I'm doing more regional stuff to make up for the fuel costs or the fuel overhead. But what's really hurting me as an owner operator is the brokers. I can see back in the day when there wasn't no internet, there wasn't a such thing called an app where the broker can actually help me operate. But it's getting to the point where we're talking about, self-driving 18-wheelers. 18-wheelers that are battery powered. But nobody's talking about the broker. Some people get broker and dispatcher mixed up. Broker is a person who gets the contract from the shipper or consignee, and they present it to the carrier. Okay? A dispatcher is a person who goes to the broker to get the load to dispatch the driver, which, like me, when you go on, if you're a driver and you go on the DAT board or you're going on Trucker's Path for loads, you are the dispatcher. If you're going on there and you're looking at the loads and you're pressing that button and you're calling the broker to get that load, so you're dispatching yourself. Or if you don't feel like talking to brokers and trying to negotiate the rate with the brokers, you can hire a dispatch company and they can look up the loads and call and do that stuff, which I don't see why you would want to cut somebody in on your profits when that part is easy, because you as a driver, as an owner operator, if you're driving and operating your truck, making sure you're trying to get profit, those are things you should want control of anyways. But back to the brokerage, we're talking about brokers, not dispatchers. Make sure my lights are on. Are brokers hurting the game? I think brokers are hurting the game, because how come shippers and consignees, like Walmart, for instance, how come Walmart just won't do the same thing that Amazon's doing? Have an app, a Walmart Relay app, so the carriers can go on the app and get the load, or even contracts. Get the contracts. They will be saving so much more money on fuel costs and maintenance if they just kept their trailers, got rid of their tractors, or no, not all, but most of their tractors, or all of them, and just do the same thing that Amazon's doing. And how come us as carriers, instead of boycotting and parking our truck because the fuel prices are so high, instead of doing that, we should hold DAT and Trucker's Path and all those other apps that are not free, that we're paying monthly for. We should hold them accountable, because those apps are not for the carriers. Those apps are for the brokers. Okay? Those apps protect the brokers more than the carrier. So instead of parking your truck and not out here doing what we do best, we should all say, hey, don't go on the DAT board. Don't go on Trucker's Path. Don't mess with any of those, because that's where the brokers are making their money from. We're going to go on, until they make it better, until, we want, our demands should be, we want Trucker's Path and DAT to go to the carriers, or let the carriers know, or the consignees, hey, you can post your loads on here directly, so the carriers, and you can do a direct thing, and we, cut out the broker. So you will be saving money, and the carriers will be saving money. Okay, especially at a time where the fuel prices are high, because right now the broker is taking what would ease the pain for fuel for us. They're taking that money. The consignee or the shippers are already paying more. That's why a bag of chips is more money, because they're paying more because fuel is high, because the broker is telling them, hey, it was this, but I have to do it. I can get it off for this because the fuel. And then they're giving it to us saying, hey, we can't go any higher because there's no more money there, when there really is. When the consignee, the manufacturer, or the person who needs the goods delivered to them that could balance off the fuel prices, so things could still be going good. So in my opinion, we don't need a broker anymore. The broker should be the first line of jobs that's been taken over by computers. We don't need them anymore. If these big companies, if a broker want to be a broker, or talk to shippers and all that stuff, they should go work for the shipper and be, they should have made it so instead of truckers can't be a contractor for another company, they should have the same thing that law should reflect for brokers. Brokers cannot be a contractor for a carrier anymore. That broker has to be either employed by the manufacturer or the consignee, or there's no more. The brokers should have the same accountability as we do, if that goes into effect, because we don't see the brokers out here protesting about anything. The fuel prices, they're not making any videos or YouTube or contacting the news saying, hey, these fuel prices are really messing up. I can't feed my family because the fuel price is so high, I can't get the load off for this or that. The brokers are sucking the blood out of the manufacturers and the shippers. So if it was me, I would say we need a boycott against DAT board and Truckers Path, and our demands would be if you cut off the brokers, we don't need no brokers anymore. We don't need no brokers need to have the MC. We don't care about none of that. We don't need that anymore. It's absolutely more. It's hurting the industry. It's hurting more than helping. If you DAT board and Truckers Path is a great platform, and they can be a top competitor with Amazon. And just how Amazon, when they need their goods gone, you can go on the Amazon Relay app and you can see what's there. Cheap or not, if it's too cheap, you wait a while, the freight is going to go up as it get closer to the departure time, or you can get a contract. Yeah, I can do this for this many weeks. I'll take that contract for that rate. That works out perfect, and I get my fuel surcharge. Okay, DAT board, Trucker Path, 1, 2, 3 low board, things like this should be okay. If you want me, the carrier, to use your platform, it should benefit me more. You should be the loads that are on your platform should be coming directly from the shipper, and the shipper should have the options to post, okay, we just need this one load from Vegas to Arizona completed today because the person who's usually under this contract is sick or they can't fulfill this load, so we're just posting this trip on here, and this is where we're looking to get for it, and you get the fuel surcharge. Or, it'll work a lot better. Things will go a lot smoother. Or if that shipper is saying, hey, I have this many shipments for this many months, I'm just going to put the contract out there. I know this many trucks can handle this many whatever. Okay, I have a contract for 4 weeks or a week or 2 weeks, 5 days a week for this price. Who can fulfill it? And that's as the carriers can do directly with the shippers. The shippers right now have the ability to have access to millions of assets right now, and they would be saving money instead of allowing brokers to have access to billions of others' assets and charging them more when there's apps out here that are already popular with the carriers, and it'd be an easy transition for them to post the loads on there instead of them having their own load board that the brokers, because the only thing the brokers are doing is they're not calling Pepsi and saying, hey, Pepsi, we can do this. They're going on a load board that's Pepsi's platform and saying, oh, I can get this fulfilled, and they're putting a bid on it, and then when they win that bid, because they know months in advance, like it's July, in September, Pepsi already know that they have this many loads that need to be fulfilled, so in July, they're trying to get it contracted already. So that broker is going on there, oh, in September they got this, I can get that done. And they putting that bid in, boom, boom, we can get it done, blah, blah, blah. They're the lowest bidder to Pepsi, now they got it. So when it comes time to September, that broker is putting it on the DAT board, And now we're doing the same thing the broker did with Pepsi. Us as a shipper is calling this broker and saying, hey, we can do it for this. And the broker's playing hard, but I really want to get it done for this because they have a number that they really want to go for. If it's lower than this number, we'd be an idiot not to give it to the shipper. But if it's around this number or higher, we're going to say, we really need this much. And then the carrier go, okay, I'll call you back or whatever. And then they get 10 of those and say everybody's higher or in a certain range, higher than what they really want to get off for. They're going to go for the lowest one out of all those bids that we're putting in. Okay, well, this carrier, he offered lower. I'm going to call him back because nobody went lower than this number I'm really trying to get, That's the 60-40 thing. It's all numbers game. Nobody's going to, I already know a broker, they're not getting a load for 5,000 and putting it up there for 4,500. And then you're talking, 45, I can do it for 48. And they're making $200 off the guy. No, they're not doing that. They're going 40, 60, 35, 65. And you have to negotiate up to 50-50 or 60-40 on your end. That's the way the game is going. I don't care what anybody's saying. That's just common sense. So instead of the brokers are hurting the game right now more than helping the game. So we need as carriers, we need to find out who to really, they have laws in place. They have more laws for us than brokers. The brokers are eating off of our hard work. So it only makes sense to cut the middleman off. And how do we cut the middleman off? We don't go to their platforms anymore. Instead of parking your truck and saying, I'm going to park my truck, what's the biggest platforms out there? DAT, Truckers Path. Put out a thing, hey, on this date, from this date to this date, we're not taking loads off Truckers Path. We're not taking loads from this DAT board. We're going to cancel our subscriptions. Us as the carriers, we're going to cancel our subscriptions for a month or 2 months from the DAT board and Truckers Path, and they can take, whatever the brokers are paying in the month, they can get that monthly money. But I guarantee you, soon as all of us, or even half of us, stop paying that monthly fee and go on a boycott for however long we need to do it for, and we have the right demands, like, hey, we don't want to deal with brokers anymore. They're messing up the game. They're hurting more than helping right now, okay? They sucked off of us long enough. So these are demands. You want us to come back and pay a subscription to your platform? We only want to deal with direct shippers, direct consignees. We want them to be able to post on the DAT or Truckers Path, so it can be a direct thing with them. If I'm taking a Pepsi load, it better be a person who's not third-party contract with Pepsi. It better be Pepsi's dispatcher dealing with us. No more third-party brokers. No more third-party contractor brokers. We don't want that anymore because it's hurting the game, and we're wasting time fighting with these people who are getting the load. We had to take a load from 300 miles. For 300 miles, that broker put in, okay, for 300 miles, we can get it done, say for 5,000, or say they get it done for 3,500. Hell, 2,200 for 300 miles. And they're coming to you and trying to give you 600 to 700 of that money. And fuel has to come out of that for 300 miles. That's going to cost me $300 or more to get that done. And I'm only making $200. Not even making, because I have to take out that $2 million monthly insurance, because my insurance is primary, yours is secondary. My insurance is, $2,500 to $3,200 a month, so I got to take that out of the load. So whatever those calculations are, I got to take that out of that too. And tires, maintenance, I got to take that out of that too, because I can blow a tire on my way to do that for you, and that's $300 right there itself. So I can actually go into the hole for trying to fulfill this contract for you. You're trying to make $2,000 off of it. You're trying to give me $700, or you're trying to make $1,800. You're trying to give me $700 off of it. When I can deal directly with the shipper. Okay, I'll do that 300 miles for that $800. Plus, I need fuel. I need the $500 for the fuel. I need that fuel surcharge. So go ahead and give me that money. Go ahead and give me that $1,300, and I'll get it done for you. Bam. They just saved money. They got it done for $1,800 instead of $2,200. They're happy, and I'm happy. We don't need the broker doing it anymore. That's who we need to be boycotting. That's who us as carriers the heat needs to be on brokers. Do we really need brokers? Are brokers really getting on phones and calling shippers and consignees saying, hey, how many loads you have going out? Where's the load? Is it going to load from Michigan to Chicago? Oh, I can get that done for you. They're not doing that. They're going on a app, whatever app it is. They have their own DAT board or trucker's path that they're going on, looking at these things and going, oh, this is going from here to here. I can get that done. And they're going and bidding and doing that thing, and then when they win the bid, they put it on DAT board, trucker's path, and then shippers, we're fighting for it. Because one thing for sure, the manufacturers don't know how much brokers are getting paid, and the carriers don't know how much brokers are getting paid. Okay? Because they don't know, we don't know what the shippers are paying them, or receivers, whoever ordered, whoever's taking care of that bill. So that's why I say shippers or consignees. They don't know how much the broker is paying us, and we don't know how much the shipper is paying the broker. So, and that's what's hurting the industry right there. The brokers are dictating how much I get paid and how much the receivers get charged. And they're dictating how much a bag of chips are. At the end of the day, how much is water? They're dictating that because Niagara is paying them, saving $800 to do some in-town stuff. And then they're trying to pay me $200 to do it. But my overhead's way more than their overhead. They don't have no overhead. If anything, they're paying if they're using DAT board or trucker path to post loads, they're paying $400 for insurance and maybe $150 to $200 a month to post on an app. I'll pay that. Give me that. I'll pay DAT $200 plus the $75. I'll pay DAT $300 a month if they can get direct shipper. I mean, they cut out the brokers, and only shippers and consignees can post on the load board. And to then, I don't want to mess with them. I'd rather mess with a company like Amazon, or if Walmart had a platform like Amazon where I can go onto the Walmart Relay app and get the loads that they have. I'd rather take a cheaper cut than dealing with brokers, somebody with no assets in the game, feeding off my hard work, enslaving me and telling me in the year 2020 I need them to get a load when all I need is the right app platform. That's all I need as a carrier. I need Amazon. That's who I need. I need Amazon. I need a Walmart platform. They need to make one. I need a DAT board if it was more like an Amazon, if I'm dealing directly with the shipper. But until then, in my opinion, what's really hurting the the game is brokers. Okay, is brokers. I'd rather if a broker had a Swift or a JB Hunt or Warner, all these other carriers that are like myself but bigger, and if they have more than what they can handle, or they can't fulfill a load, I like their load board too. I'd rather deal with them. They can't fulfill the load. They post it up on their app. I go on their app and look, and I put a bid in. I'm not dealing with a broker. I'm dealing directly with another carrier that can't fulfill a contract, so they need me, a person who has the assets like they have assets, and I can fulfill it with you. Then we can work something out. Oh, I can do that for you. Add fuel on that. Give me the fuel surcharge that the shipper gave you. Give it to me. You're still making some money. You're still getting that load fulfilled until you can fulfill it again. And I'm making some money too. That's not leeching. That's what we need. We don't need one day I wake up and I go, I want to be a broker today, when we don't need one today. I'm going to go get my broker MC number for $500, and then I'm going to call up Pepsi and ask them if I can have access to their load board. And Pepsi's only working with brokers because they think they need a broker, or they don't need a broker. They should just give access to the shippers or carriers. But I'm gonna call them and ask them if I can get access to their load board, so I can make bids on the loads they need to get off. And then the bids I win from them, I put it on the DAT board. So I'm gonna wake up, get my MC number, get my insurance, which, for me, a person with no assets, no way of generating money. So it's gonna, unless I already have some money saved up, this $800 startup cost is gonna, it's a lot to me for a person who I have no way of generating money because I have no assets, I have no skill. I'm going to get my broker MC. I'm going to call Pepsi and ask to get access to their load board. I'm going to bid on their load board, and if I win that load, that contract, I'm going to post that contract on the DAT board. And I know I'm going to be fresh, new authority, so I'm going to have to figure out a way how to, until they give me the money, how can I pay this carrier the money? Because my credit's not there for a factoring company to give me credit for factoring. So it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So that's my rant. Do we need brokers? Are brokers hurting the trucking industry? That's it. What do you think? Comment. If you've made it this far, comment at the bottom and let me know. And for those owner-operators out there in California who's, that new law affected you out there where you can't be a contractor no more, you have to go get your own MC and DOT and all that stuff to operate in California. If you need help getting your MC or and DOT numbers and plates and all that stuff, and you don't know how to do it, leave a comment at the bottom. Hit me up, and I will help you. I will navigate you in the right way. I know other YouTubers on here that are explaining step by step. Hell, hit me up. I paid a company to set it up for me. That company sent me a paper of everything I need and explained how your authority gets active and all that stuff. I will literally email you this paper so you can know everything you need to get done. Either you can do it yourself, or you can have that company do it for you. I'm not going to tell you the company name on here because I'm not promoting any company, because services that do that is several people out there that give that service, and to me, you have to pick which one that fits you better. Either it's you called and the operator was really nice to you and you want to work with them, or whatever it is. But I can give you that paper. I'll email it to you. Leave a comment. Let me know. Hey, I'm looking to start my own authority. How can I do it? And I'll email you what you need to do. Or if you guys leave enough comments down there, I'll just make a video showing you step by step on what to do. Or I would direct you. I would do a a reaction video of another person out there who I watch show me how to do it step by step, so you can go and get some knowledge from them if you haven't seen that video. But let me know, man. Peace out. We out here just rolling. We're gonna keep rolling. Fuel prices, these brokers are not gonna stop me from rolling. I'm doing power only out here, and I'm still in the game. Okay? And we're gonna keep it like that, man. Peace out.